What's up, everybody? We're back with a new SBS review, the first of our 2026 retro SBS reviews, and we're starting with Chrono Cross. Now, I picked this game in particular because when I was young, I got it when it came out, and I really didn't like the game, to be honest with you. I wasn't feeling the battle system, the story wasn't hitting for me, and I just thought that a follow-up to Chrono Trigger should be so much more than what Chrono Trigger or what Chrono Cross is offering. So, young Trinell put it on the shelf. It's sitting back there chilling right now, and I have not picked it up since I was in high school. Like, real talk, like I just completely dismissed the game. So I started with this game on purpose because I wanted to make sure that 16-year-old Trinell wasn't on that bullshit. And I gotta be honest with you, 16-year-old Trinell was on that bullshit. So let's go ahead and get started talking about this game. As always, we go over the sound, the battle system, and the story for Chrono Cross with no spoilers. And I'll tell you why I thought this game was bad and what changed my mind completely about it. Let's hop into it. So as always, we start with the sound. And the sound to Chrono Cross is fucking phenomenal. There is really not a bad song in this OST. I felt every song was a bop, but as you know, we focus on the battle theme, the boss theme, and the world map themes because those are the themes that you hear the most in the game. So the battle theme is called Gale, and typically when I hear a battle theme, I hear or I feel like feelings of being powerful or feelings of being like strong and conquering, like those kinds of things. Chrono Cross's battle theme doesn't make me feel that way. None of those feelings at all. What it does make me feel is giggly and happy because when I hear this song, the only thing I picture is a chibi Surge standing on the shoulder of the enemy and just bopping him with his weapon. Boom, 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 boom. And I genuinely cannot tell you why. I do not know why I think that. But that is what I think, and that shit makes me happy, and that makes this song fucking fire. That's really all I can tell you about it. As for the boss theme, that's called Brink of Death. And to keep it a buck with you, the song at no point at all makes me feel like I am on the brink of death. What the song does make me feel like is a battle of ebbs and flows. Like a battle of like, I'm in control for a bit, and then the boss goes like, oh, now I can use my full power. And then he starts beating you up for a little bit, and then you pull out your trick. And the battle just goes back and forth like a shonen battle type shit. And that's what this song is for me. I never feel like that I'm completely in control and I'm dominating the boss, or that I'm being dominated by the boss and I have to figure out a way to overcome this predicament. It's just a battle of ebbs and flows, and eventually one of us is going to end up on top. Alright, so if you're familiar with Chrono Cross, you know that this game has two world map themes. And for the home world, that theme is called Fields of Time. And I gotta keep it a buck with you, that song is fucking fire. It has heavy Chrono Trigger vibes, which never hurts. And it's just, as soon as you hear it, your neck starts moving, your fingers start snapping. It's a song that just makes you feel good. And that also makes it a great song to travel to. So in that regard, it is a dope world map theme. You have no problem running around the world listening to this song. You're actually just running around in circles trying to listen to this song. It's that good. As for the other world theme, or the second world map theme, that song is called Shore of Dreams. Now this song elicits feelings of not desperation, but like urgency. Like, our next destination is important. We need to be there immediately. Like, it's a song that makes you feel like I can't fuck around. Like, we're on a mission and we gotta get shit done, because whatever's waiting for me back at the house, that shit is on a counter and I gotta get done quick. It's a song that makes me feel anxious, honestly. Like, my anxiety kind of goes up. Not in a bad way. Like, I know I'm playing a video game, so I know I'm not in any real danger or urgency, but the song makes it feel like you can't run around the world map and level up. Like, whatever you got going on is like you need to get that shit done. Alright, so let's talk about the battle system. And personally, this is the weakest part of the game for me. It's not bad by any means, but I don't think there's a lot to do or any like real interesting decisions to make. So it just kind of doesn't fall flat, but it's just basic. Now, that's not to say that it's all bad or there aren't any interesting decisions to be made. There's a few. So let me break it all down for you and you'll see for yourself. So first off, it's just like the basic options that every RPG gives you. Attack, magic, defend, run. Nothing special outside of that. But what is cool is that every character has like an element that they're attached to. There's white, black, blue, red, green, and yellow. Yeah, those are the 6. And they're all weak to one another, like white to black, yellow to green, blue to red. So you really have to think about who you take with you from dungeon to dungeon. Since all the boss's elements are different, you'll need to bring party members that can attack their elemental weaknesses as well as defend against theirs. Also, as you level up in the game, you have a grid that expands with each character. This grid goes from levels 1 to 8, and every character's grid is unique to them. So for example, someone at level 5 can have 6 spells that you can equip, but someone else at level 5 can only have like 3. So you have to really think about your loadouts and what spells you give your characters and which spells you give which characters, and try to balance out what you bring along as far as grids go. So there's interesting decision making to be made in party construction as far as the elements and the grids, and I think that's pretty cool. On top of that, you can affect the field with an element. So as you cast spells, the field element in the upper left hand corner will change, and if you get it to all one element, you're able to do your Big Daddy spells and your Big Daddy summons. Outside of that, for your attacks, you have 3 levels. There's percentages next to each level that the attack will succeed. Those are calculated before the enemy's evasion is considered. So that's pre-enemy evasion, those numbers next to your attacks. Keep that in mind. That fucked me up a lot when I was a kid. And it's basically attack, 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 spell. And that's pretty much every battle you fight. And at the end of the day, that's what really drags this battle system down for me. Not a lot of interesting decision making to be made within the battle system itself. So let's talk about the story. You know how I do, no spoilers here, but I will tell you that this story does a fantastic job of crafting its own tale, as well as weaving in threads from Chrono Trigger. So the story starts off with the main character Surge. He's in his hometown, and he has to meet up with his homie at the beach. Funny enough, I believe it starts the same exact way as Chrono Trigger, with this man waking up out of bed late to what he's supposed to be doing. But yeah, you're supposed to meet up with your homie at the beach. When you get to the beach, you stumble upon like this portal that transports Surge to another world. And when Surge arrives at this world, he comes to find out that not only is he dead in this world, but he's being hunted, like he was expected to be there. He is saved by the homie Kid, and from there they team up to figure out A, why the fuck is Surge here? B, how does Surge get home? And C, why the fuck is Surge being hunted? And from there the story just takes off, bro, and it is so fucking good. The cool thing about this story that really hits for me is that you get to recruit all these characters, and all these characters have full arcs, beginnings, middles, and ends. And a lot of these characters' arcs are intertwined, so you get to see resolutions for a lot of characters happen, and they feel good and they feel complete. Like the is it the Arcadia Dragoons is what they're called? It's been a minute since I played, but yeah, I believe that's what they're called. There's many of them that you recruit, and all their arcs are intertwined, and they all conclude in a really satisfying way. The same can be said of many characters that you recruit in this game too, not just them. So it's really fun to recruit as many characters as you can to see these characters grow throughout the game. I also like how the story handles the concept of time travel. So in this game, you don't time travel like you do in Chrono Trigger. You hop between worlds. It's the same world, just 2 different timelines. So you have all the same towns, all the same characters, but different things have happened to these characters that affect them in different ways, and they're completely different people because of it. So it's really fun to take a character that you recruited in one world send them to the next world with you, and see how they interact with their doppelganger. There's one character that you recruit that has a traumatic event happen to them, and it affects them in 2 completely different ways. And you get to see those characters interact, and it's really cool to see how each of them are affected and how they feel about how the other one feels about the same situation. It's really fucking cool. Really well written stuff. Overall, this story is phenomenal. It really saves the mediocre battle system. This story kept me going from beginning to end, and I was really interested to see what happened next, not only to Surge and Kid and the main crew, but also the characters that you recruit along the way and their own individual stories. And now on to the big one. Why was young Turnell on that bullshit? Why didn't I like this game back in the day? And I genuinely thought about this. Like, I gave it some good fucking thought. Like, I love this game now, so why did I not like it back in the day? And I think a lot of it has to do with Chrono Trigger bias. I was hyped for this game back in the day. I pre-ordered it, I got the little clock, I got the little soundtrack sampler, and I was ready for it. But when I got the game, in my mind, I was like, how can this be as good as Chrono Trigger? Like, how? So I started playing it, and I prejudged the game basically. And once it didn't start living up to Chrono Trigger immediately, I just started looking at things that was wrong with the game. So the battle system, the percentages by the attacks didn't make sense to me, and I didn't try to figure it out. I was just like, that's bullshit. That's bullshit. And then as I'm playing through the game and I'm playing through the story, I was like, this shit don't make sense. This story's dumb. This isn't as good as Chrono Trigger's story. This story's dumb. And then you start recruiting all the characters, and this is what, as an adult, made me realize that I was just fucking being biased as hell. I love Suikoden to death. My all-time favorite JRPG series, and the big draw of those games are all the characters that you can recruit. And we all know, as Suikoden lovers, that 95% of those characters don't fucking matter. They're just cool to collect and cool to have in your castle, and like just cool to interact with. Like, they're just cool to be there. They don't matter in the grand scheme of things, but they're fucking cool. And when it came to Chrono Cross, you start recruiting all these characters who, mind you, can all be used in battle and all have their own little unique skills. Even though there's not a lot of them, they still fucking got them. And I was like, why are we recruiting all these dumbass characters? They don't even mean anything. They don't do anything for the plot. They don't do anything for the story. Like, they're pointless. They're dumb. This game, it just doesn't, it's not hitting. This ain't Chrono Trigger. And then I finally got to a point where it was the battle against Garai, where I finally couldn't get any further, and I finally put the controller down, and I was like, this game sucks. This game's not Chrono Trigger. The battle system's not good. The story's not good. The characters are dumb. I don't like this game. And it sat on my shelf for decades and decades, just being heat, being on fire on my shelf, and I just ignored it the whole time because I was just completely biased towards this game and not judging it on its own merits. Now that I am older and wiser and I've played through this game, I am happy to say that Chrono Cross has elevated to one of my favorite JRPGs. Like I said earlier, it's not Final Fantasy VI tier, but it's that tier right below where like Lunar lives and Tales of Destiny lives and Persona 4 and shit. Like, this game is top quality. Alright everybody, that's gonna do it for me. I appreciate y'all watching and hanging out with my Chrono Cross SBS review. To wrap it all up for you, this game is amazing. If I can give it a number score, I would give it an 8 out of 10. And the only thing that's keeping it from being a perfect game for me is the battle system. I feel like there's not enough there, but that doesn't keep it from being a phenomenal game. Anyway, I appreciate y'all watching and hanging out, and I'll see y'all next time. Peace.